It started with the rain. The kind that doesn't just tap on the windows but slams into the roof like it's trying to break through, like it's warning you to stay inside. But nights like this are just part of the job when you're a delivery driver. You don't get to wait out the storm. By the time I reached my car, a beat-up 1998 Honda Accord with duct tape holding one of the side mirrors, I was already drenched. I slid into the driver's seat, water pooling on the cracked leather, and checked my phone. The notification buzzed as I started the engine. Deliver to 13 Black Hollow Lane. I froze for a second. Black Hollow Lane wasn't just on the outskirts of town, it had a reputation. Every small town has that one place. The road parents warn their kids to stay away from. The one you tell ghost stories about at sleepovers. People talked about disappearances out there. Strange sightings. I'd never been, and I wasn't eager to start. Still, the order was worth good money, and I needed the cash. My stomach nodded, but I tapped to accept the delivery. As I pulled out onto the rain-slick streets, the GPS whispered directions, the robotic voice oddly muted under the sound of the storm. The rain got worse as I drove, each drop hammering against the windshield. The wipers struggled, smearing more than they cleared. My phone buzzed again. A text from the customer. "Come alone. Do not call." I laughed nervously. "Yeah, like I was planning to bring backup for a pizza run," I muttered. But my voice didn't sound right in the empty car. The kind of forced humor you use when you're trying to convince yourself everything's fine. As I left the main road, the streetlights disappeared, swallowed by the towering pines that lined the path. The car's headlights cut through the dark, illuminating gnarled branches that swayed violently in the wind. When the GPS announced "arrived," I almost wished it was wrong. The house at 13 Black Hollow Lane was straight out of a nightmare. A crumbling two-story relic with boarded-up windows and a sagging porch. The only sign of life was a flickering yellow bulb over the door. Even through the rain, I could see the mailbox at the edge of the drive. 13. I parked and sat there for a moment, gripping the steering wheel. Every instinct screamed at me to leave. To call the number and say, "Sorry, the storm made it impossible to get through." But a job's a job, and I'd come too far to back out now. Grabbing the pizza, I stepped into the storm. Each step up the drive felt heavier than the last. My boots sank into the mud, water squelching with every movement. The porch groaned under my weight as I reached the door. I knocked once, twice. The sound echoed unnaturally loud in the emptiness. No answer. I shifted on my feet, my heart pounding against my ribs. The storm felt quieter here, like the house was absorbing the sound. I was about to leave when the door creaked open, just a crack. Enough to reveal the dark void beyond. "Hello?" I called out, trying to sound casual. My voice cracked. "Come in!" a voice rasped from the shadows. I froze. The words hung in the air, cold and wrong. Every muscle in my body screamed at me to run, but my legs didn't listen. Something about the voice. It wasn't just heard, it was felt, vibrating in my skull. "Please," the voice added, softer now, almost pleading. Against every shred of reason, I stepped inside. The air was thick and damp, carrying a faint metallic tang that made my stomach churn. Water dripped from my jacket onto the wooden floor, each drop echoing too loudly in the oppressive silence. The door creaked shut behind me. "Hello?" I tried again, my voice barely above a whisper. No answer. I placed the pizza on a small table near the door. The house felt wrong. Too cold, too still. My breath fogged the air. Just as I turned to leave, I noticed it. A figure at the end of the hallway, tall, impossibly thin, its face hidden in shadow. I froze, my chest tightening as fear flooded my veins. I brought your order," I stammered. The figure tilted its head slowly, unnaturally, like a broken marionette. Then it raised a long, bony hand that's pointed behind me. I spun around, heart hammering. The door was gone. Not closed, gone. The wall was seamless, bare wood where the door had been. A low, guttural laugh echoed around me, coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. I turned back, and the figure was closer. "Thank you," it whispered. Its voice was inside me now, crawling through my skull. I don't remember running. I don't remember finding my car or driving home. All I know is that when I finally stopped shaking, I was sitting in my driveway, drenched and freezing. The pizza bag was on the passenger seat. I reached over, trembling, and opened it. The box was empty, but inside, written in what looked like ash, were 3 words. "See you soon,